Hello everyone, I'm Brian from SRC and I'm streaming live from our SRC club room. So with me around here, I actually have Larry beside me. So if you all want to say hi to him, you can say hi. Let's wait for more people to come in first and then before we start the stream. Okay, let's wait.
Okay. So later you put up the photograph.
Yep.
Photograph, then we start from $1.
Okay, right now we have 12 people. So we're gonna start the program once we hit about 20 people. And we'll start with the coral bidding. So for all these reefers who just tuned in, stay tuned for a very, very, very special coral bidding.
Facebook page. There's a group. Page.
Okay, almost there. We are currently at 14 people on SRC platform, and we have also 4 people from YouTube. So stay tuned, just stay tuned for a while, and we're gonna have someone very special all the way from down under. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys about 1 minute, and we're gonna start the bidding session. Okay, we hit 20 people. Okay, I'm just gonna give it another 15 seconds, and then we're gonna start our coral bidding. Ten more seconds. Yes, Tommy, this is SRC's office. Look at the tank behind, it's full of SPS. Okay, we're gonna start the coral bidding. So right now, the first coral that's up for bidding from Coral Phonetics is, let me find that. Can y'all see this coral? Very, very special frag. It's a spicy lemon favia. So I'm gonna start the bids at $1. Same thing, if you want to bid for this coral, just do so at the comments, and then we'll award it, of course, to the highest bidder at 5 minutes each. Okay. So who's gonna start? Bidding for starts at $1. Anybody? Spicy? Yes, these corals are from Coral Phonetics. So Ian, $1 for Ian. Oh, Shannon Tan, $10. Current bid is at $10. Okay, I'm gonna show the highest bidder. Yes, Shannon, we got your bid. So you are currently at $10. Okay, the time is 5:05. I will close this bidding at 5:10. Delivery is not inclusive. Do your own collection at Coral Phonetics and check out their latest collections. Okay, I have one from YouTube, $16. Do note that the sale of these corals are only applicable to Singapore citizens. So if you are not a Singapore citizen and you win the bid, I'm going to give this to the highest local bidder. Okay, right now it goes to Soba Chases Cats. Interesting name from YouTube. Any higher bidders? Anyway, it's only been 1 minute, so Felix, the highest bid is currently $16. So if you want to bid, you gotta bid another dollar more. So $17 will be your minimum next bid. $17 anybody? $20 anybody? Reefers based in Singapore can liao. No need ping IC to buy. Yeah, right now go army also don't need ping IC already. Don't need to give away your ping IC. Anyone else? $16 for spicy lemon favia? Wow, okay. I'm so tempted to place my own bid. Guys, this is like a really, really, really good bargain. This is a rare piece. Okay, remember today's auction, the money goes to charity. So it doesn't go to any of us, it doesn't go to anyone, but it only goes to charity. And we are giving to which foundation again?
Great Barrier Reef.
We're going to give to the Great Barrier Reef Foundation. Yes. Okay, as you know that the Great Barrier Reef needs our help right now, especially since there's a lot of bleaching events. So it's definitely good to help them. Stephen Ho, highest bid, outbidded by Max Tan on YouTube, $21. Okay, 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes for this spicy lemon favia. Highest bidder is right now $21. $21. Anybody? 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 If you want to see the highest bid, you just have to look at the screen. At the bottom, it says here the highest bidder. So highest bidder right now, oh, Leon! Leon has increased the bid to $44, guys. Einstein Chew, we need to pour coral essentials in the Great Barrier Reef. Let's see if it works, because I'm not sure if that works. But yeah, we can ask later. You can ask this question if it helps the Great Barrier Reef. Highest bidder is currently $44. Anyone higher? If you all see Leon bid $44, right, it means that it's definitely worth the money. Okay, I have 1 more minute. 1 more minute. I'm gonna count down soon. 30 more seconds before I start my last countdown. 10 more seconds before my last countdown. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 45. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Shannon Tan. Shannon Tan at $45. Thank you. All proceeds will go to Great Barrier Reef Foundation. Okay, of course, there's one more piece, but this time, I'm going to increase the timing to, I'm going to reduce the timing to 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes. Sorry, Leon, your reply came in a little, oh, wait. Let me see. Okay. Okay, next piece up for bidding is
see if I
That's the other one.
the download should be.
Oh, no, not this one. Give me a second. Yes, I got a picture. And the next one up for bidding is
Space Invader.
Space Invader. Okay, OG Space Invader, Pactinia. Starting bids also from $1. Okay, $1. I'm gonna end the bid at. I'm gonna start the countdown in 3 minutes, which will be 5:14 p.m. Okay, 5:14 p.m. I may receive your replies a bit later, so I'm just gonna count down by what I see here. If so, it's best that you put in your bids as early as possible. Okay, as early as possible. We have $10 right now. $10 by Jeremy Lim. $28 by CK Wong. Space Invader. OG Space Invader. $20 by CK Wong. Any higher? I'm gonna stop bid again at 5:14 p.m. and that's on my watch, on everybody's watch actually. $30 by Sim Wei Jie. $30 by Matthew Cole. Sorry, I got Wei Jie's one first. So guys, remember, just make sure you send in your bids earlier. Live streaming auctions don't work all the time the way that you want it to. So send it as early as you can. $38, CK Wong, you are the current highest bidder. My time right now is 5:12, 5:13. So 1 more minute before I start my final countdown. Highest bidder goes to Stephen Ho on YouTube. $40, $40. So it's a bit more fun because it's a bit of a trial and error. Okay, you put in your bid, not 100% you get your bid. This is a bit of a balloting also. Oh, so actually it makes it more fair. CK Wong, $48. Matthew Cole at $55. OG Space Invader. Wow, a lot of people want this coral. I also want to put bid. Okay, who's next? Who's next? $58. CK Wong. Oh wait, Muhammad Rashid at $60. CK Wong at $68. Wow, getting exciting, huh? Okay, it's 5:14. I'm gonna start my countdown right now. And 10, 9, 8, 7, $68. CK Wong, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, $68 CK Wong, and $70 Muhammad Rashid. Okay, I'm gonna slow down a little bit. $70 Muhammad Rashid. Okay, Carl Le at $76. $78 CK Wong. Okay, I'm gonna slow down a bit because Muhammad Rashid $80. Okay, getting exciting, huh? Wow, very nice number. CK Wong 88. Yes, it costs a lot more, and all proceeds goes to the Great Barrier Reef Foundation. So bid away, $88, highest bidder. I am gonna start. Oh, Ben Low at $90. Okay, any more? Any more?
This one is $500.
$98 Cedric Cole. Should I say? Okay, guys, I'm gonna extend this by another 30 seconds because the valuation of the OG Space Invader is actually $500. Guys, $500. Okay. So $108 CK Wong. Let's see whether you can hit $500 or you get it at a bargain. Yeah, I've been asked to increase the timing by another 2 minutes. Okay, we don't want to give too little to charity also. $118 Ben Low. Wow, this one I also straight away $200. 138 CK Wong. Okay, I will start my countdown at 5:17. Okay, sorry, 5:18 p.m. Okay, $150. Alan Montero, 158. CK Wong, very nice, sticking to the 8. Sorry, Ben, CK is first on my list. $200 by Alan Montero. Getting better, guys. Remember, it's for charity. It's to donate to the Great Barrier Reef Foundation. Okay, 228, Ben Low. Okay, if it's for charity, you should go above 500, to be honest. 238, CK Wong. Wow, very exciting match. 258, Ben Low. Right now, the match is between Ben Low and CK Wong, and sometimes Alan Montero. Highest bidder is Ben Low. Ben Low. Guys, this is damn worth it. It's damn worth it. All proceeds will go. I have, let me see. I have about 15, 40 more seconds before I start my final countdown. $268 CK Wong. Come on, let's see if it hits 300. 278 Ben Low. Okay, Ben Low 278, 278. Very nice. Okay, 20 more seconds till I start my final countdown. Remember, you all need to send in your bids as soon as possible. And it's a bit of a trial and error and a bit of a luck thing. 288 Carla. 288 Carla. $300 Ben Low. We have reached $300. Come on, guys, for charity. Okay, I am going to start the final countdown. 10, 9, Ben Low $300. 8, $300 Ben Low. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Is it final? Ben Low. 2 and 1. Congratulations to Ben Low. So wasted. Sorry, I have to, I said Ben Low is $300. Okay, so to Ben Low at $300. Thank you very much for your participation. So I know you all bid higher. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make it open. Your minimum payment is $300, but if you like to contribute more to the Great Barrier Reef Foundation, you are free to give more to us. We'll send you the details shortly as to how to pay for the corals. Thank you so much for your participation. Right now, I'm gonna invite all the way from Australia, Rick from Coral Essentials, and today he's gonna tell us a bit more about his whole facility and a little bit about his products and how he came about, a bit more about himself, and we can definitely learn some things about reefing from him. So right now, Rick, hello, can you hear us? Okay, let me unmute you. Okay, great, Rick, we can hear you now. Okay.
Can you hear me? It's good.
Yeah, we can hear you. So Rick here is all the way from Australia, and he's the managing director of Sustainable Reefs and Coral Essentials. So Rick, why don't you tell us more about yourself and what you do?
Okay, guys. Yeah, look, as introduced, the managing director and co-owner of Sustainable Reefs and Coral Essentials. Basically, Sustainable Reefs, 2 parts to the business. Sustainable Reefs is our coral farm, which is based in Cairns in far north Queensland. So I've got a few little images and a bit to talk about that part of the business, and I've got a quick little 3-minute walkthrough video of the facility as well for you guys. And the second part of our business is Coral Essentials, which is our range of marine supplements that we manufacture in our facility here in Brisbane. So we've only just started this new facility. We've expanded, set up a new manufacturing facility here. So that's been about 3 months ago we started down here. So yes, it's good. It gives us more capacity to grow coral because we've got more space in the warehouse in Cairns, and we've got a larger warehouse here in Brisbane now to grow our range of Coral Essentials products. So without further ado, we will go down. Look, today what I'll do a bit is I'll just run through who we are, where it all began. Well, I sort of told you who we are, but I'll go through where it all began. We'll talk about the Sustainable Reefs Coral Farm. We're involved with the Great Barrier Reef Legacy Program as well, which some of you guys may have heard on, and I'll touch on what that's about and how we support it and how we're involved. I'll then give you a quick run through on the Coral Essentials marine supplements that we have that, as you guys know, Coral Fanatics imports and distributes in Singapore for us. I'll talk a little bit about using Coral Essentials and our methods, how we dose it in the tanks, how you guys use it, the different ways we can go about it, and a few little sneak peeks into the future and what we've got coming up. So, as you can see on the slide there, we founded in 2013, and as you can look at that picture on the left-hand side there, was actually in my business partner's backyard. We built a reasonably significant facility there, but it was a proof of concept facility for us. We wanted to know whether it was something that we could do, whether there was a market for it, et cetera, et cetera. Now, at that stage there, we were growing all of our coral out under full sunlight out in the weather. That proved problematic simply because of the temperature range here in North Queensland, particularly in Cairns. You know, it's 35 to 40 at times during summer, and it'll get down to 10 or 12 at night during winter. So we found the issues with growing outside were a little bit too hard with regards to keeping the water temperature at the right level. The ocean doesn't move more than a degree or so at any time during the day. So, but anyway, that's where we started. So anybody can do it in their backyards, guys. If you're all keen to have a go, took a fair bit of investment, but we got it off the ground. You can see a couple of our tanks here on the right-hand side where we had our corals growing outside, and we had like a little sump pump room on the left-hand side there. We started producing aquacultured coral back in 2014, so that was 8 years ago now, and we proved that it worked. So it was time to upgrade and move on. Although that did take us about 4 years or so before we could really prove that we could do it properly and that it was a profitable commercial business. So on we went. Now we moved into a new internal warehouse in September 2018. So that was nearly 4 years ago now. We moved inside fully under artificial lighting, predominantly LEDs and T5. We've got a few little areas still running on metal halide, but we're moving away from them. Just not quite reliable enough. It is the metal halide lights, old technology, but good for some coral. Just very power hungry, very hot inside there. So it's something we moved away from. So we're all LED and T5 now throughout the facility. A different range of LED lights as well. So we've got quite a few different ones in there. Just a couple of pics there, guys. You can see the video. I'll show you as soon as we're finished on this slide very shortly. We'll give us a bit of a run through of it. But effectively, we've got about 8 tanks there, 5 by 1 meter by about 300 millimeters deep. We've got 3 tanks that are a bit smaller, about 2 meters by 800 millimeters wide by about 250 millimeters deep. And effectively in there, we've got all of our mother colonies, which are basically the parents. They're the ones that we grow out. We frag bits off. We grow the little frags, and then the mother colonies well, you know how it works, guys. You've seen it in your own tanks. It grows back. We repeat it again over and over. So at the moment, we've got about 1,000 plus mother colonies of probably about 270 different species. So we've got multiple of some. Some we've only got a couple of. Some we've got 10 or 15 of the really well selling, the common, the SPS and LPS that are in demand. So look, without further ado, I will switch over to this little video and play it. So hopefully that will come up for you guys. Now, before I started, that's basically our facility showing from the front all the way to the back there. It's all shut up on the weekend. It gives a little bit better look with the view lights. So we'll run through this. There's going to be a little bit of pump and wave motion background noise there, but I'll try and sort of talk you through it as we go. This first tank here on the left-hand side, you can see is where we have all of our 8 cans. So our 8-can Fashvia Lord Harensis in there. So we keep all those guys down this end here, and then we move up into, we've got some continue on there, I'm not sure. A bit hard to tell. And then up to a few others, we've got Singapore, we've got some Euphyllia right on the very end here as well. Some hammers, some froggies, and a few torches as well. It's getting a little bit difficult to see where the return pump is. And there's one of our end tanks, guys. So that there's, once again, we've got some Monty in there, we've got some Sanacora, we've got some Blaster Moose on the very end that we'll get to. Oh no, guys made a lower out of me, they've moved them. So yeah, that's all of our little frags that are growing in there. Now to move down to this tank here, we've got quite a few Gonipora in there, and some Scolomia that you should be able to see. I think we just went past them. Some red Gonnies, some flaming good Gonnies. Oh, here's the Scollies coming up. So there's our Scollies, very slow growing Scollies, as you know, difficult to keep alive, difficult to propagate. We tend to cut them up probably into quarters, sometimes eighths is the best, but you're looking at about a 2-year turnaround to get a full circle back, and a good old caterpillar on the end there. Once again, just some more miscellaneous bits and pieces of more Gonnies over here. We've got some Lobofolia there. There's all the Blastos. That's where the guys have moved them. I haven't been back for about 3 months, so they've moved a bit of stuff. More Gonnies once again. Lots of red Gonnie growing in there. Very popular, the red Gonnie. We just can't grow enough. A few more Scolomia there, the guys. You can see. If you look there was a couple that hadn't quite come back to a full circle again, so they've probably been in there for 12 to 18 months, some of those guys. A bit more some meat coral once again, just more bits and pieces, Samacora, Leptera. We've got some of our big recruiter in there, we've got our zoanthids over in that particular tank as well. You can see that's our big 5,000 litre saltwater storage tank. Down here again, we've got some Echinophilia, or chalice, some people call them. We've got some Lobofolia species in there as well, just various bits and pieces that are there all the way along. I think we'll go over. I'll go the other way. Really, the sump area, just there it is. There's our big sump, a massive big skimmer there running. A few little test tanks you can see there where we test a few of the Coral Essentials products in. This is our zoanthid tank and our softy tank. A little bit hard to see that end there. We're skipping a bit quick for me. And this is another bits and pieces of everything. We sort of grow our softies in pummelstone beds there as well in that kendall patch. Here's our SPS tanks. There's the two of them there. So we've got all of our SPS down here, all of the Aquator in particular, under those massive 500 watt LEDs that we've got there. We've got 6 of them. It's our highest power user, this bank. So yeah, guys, that's it. Just a little bit of a run through. As you can see there, quite an elaborate facility. I'll just flick back to our presentation. So yeah, that's the coral farm. That's the interesting part, in all honesty. What's of most interest to you guys, the manufacturing of the chemicals. Yeah, it's fairly boring. It's mix them up, get it all together, put it in a bottle, label it up, and send it off to you guys. Not quite as exciting as the tank there, but anyway, equally as important for us to talk about here tonight. Now, I'll go quickly about the Great Barrier Reef legacy that I know there was some interest shown about that. Basically, these guys come out of the fact that we've had quite a few bleaching events in the last sort of 5 or 6 years now on the Great Barrier Reef that were mentioned a little bit earlier. A little bit of background info for you. You may or may not have known that 25 million years ago was the first coral that grew on the Queensland coast. And the earliest evidence of our completed reef structures we know now is about 500,000 years ago. So quite a long while ago. Now, the current reef structure began growing about 20,000 years ago, and out of the last glacial maximum, which was the old ice age. Okay, that was 20 years ago, where after 20,000 years ago, with the water level was about 15 meters lower than it is now, which would have had just about every single reef on the Great Barrier Reef out in dry air. So what you see today has all evolved and grown in the last 20,000 years. Now that goes up and down, and that happened over years and years. As the water levels receded, the reef started growing further and further down the slopes. When the water come back up, it started growing back up again. And it's been repeating that cycle for thousands and thousands of years. Now there's a few issues with regards to sedimentation runoff. The Queensland East Coast, quite a fair bit of farming and industrialisation going on there. Crown of Thorns, also it's a little bit of an issue with the infestation, and the coral bleaching is the biggest issue that I mentioned there before. So the Great Barrier Reef Legacy, their mission was to establish basically a biobank of all coral species on the Great Barrier Reef. So what they wanted to do was go out, sample, collect, and hopefully get nearly every single identifiable species on the Great Barrier Reef, and perhaps even identify a few more. Now, their idea was to come back and grow these on land, keep them in a bank, like they refer to it as a coral ark, the ark of coral, where we're going to have at least a couple of species of everything that's out there. Coral don't need to. It's not like animals. They can reproduce quite well on their own, but we need at least a few species. We'd suggest to the guys that they're probably looking more like 8 or 10, because we know what it's like. You guys know what it's like. You can lose the whole of one species at any time in a tank for what seems absolutely no reason at all. So we're involved with them, that they are looking to build some facilities themselves to manage this, but in the meantime, they've got quite a bit of their stock or their biobank specimens. We're looking after it for them. So effectively, we're the only full coral farm, aquaculture, fully grown facility that they use, and that why they like to use us is because all the other guys that they are simply collectors of wild coral, and they ship it out after a couple of weeks. There's a few others that, without sounding too, can try to pretend that they can grow it well, but they haven't been doing it for long enough yet. So so these guys are happy to use us for now until they get their own facility established, and they're looking into that right now. They've got some plans. They've got a room at the Cairns Aquarium allocated, so it's just a matter of getting it all ready and getting that moving. Now, Coral Essentials, what you guys are all using, as you know, Coral Fanatics imports that in, and Sirius has been doing a fantastic job for us there. And it's about time I get on and give him a little bit of a hand and run through some of this stuff with you guys. So, look, I won't take too long here. There's a lot of stuff on our website, a lot of information that I'll point you through to there as well. But effectively, it's a range of marine supplements for all marine reefers. Okay, we cover the full gambit of just about anything you need to run your tank. We've got it, and we don't believe in lengthen them and phosphate removers and all that sort of stuff. We prefer to do that biologically. We prefer you to make sure your bacterial load is correct, that you're running enough media, that the tank cycles and does it the right way without basically forcing it in by putting some dirty chemical in the water. So we don't have any of that sort of stuff. We've just got coral elements, we've got food, we've got amino and grow, we have our black label range I'll talk about, we have our primary elements, and we have some bacteria food, we have some flatworm dips and stuff like that. But predominantly we're here to make sure that you run your tank as naturally as possible, and that's our game. We want to be able to ensure that by using our equipment and our equipment, our material, and our products, that you guys can manage your tank naturally without having to force it with everything else. So effectively, we've got 3 distinct ranges. Now, first up, we've got our primary care elements, top row of the picture there underneath our logo, 10 litre, 2.75 and 500 mil, calcium plus trace, carbonate plus trace, magnesium plus trace. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. I don't have to tell you guys, that's the building blocks of all tanks. You have to get those 3 right before you even bother with doing anything else. So with our calcium, we mix it. It's at 100,000 parts per million. We add in our trace A and our trace B into it. Okay, so that's what goes into our calcium mix. Effectively, you dose it based on your usage. That's what we always recommend people to do. We've got an average usage in there for a low stock, medium stock, high density SPS stock tank. But effectively, if you want to do it properly, you measure your calcium consumption and you dose accordingly. Same with the carbonate plus trace. It's at a bit over 10,000 DKH, 180,000 parts per million. It's got our trace C in it. It's got boron and bromide in it as well. And our magnesium. Magnesium is only at 12,500 parts. We found an equal dosing of that calcium, carb, and magnesium is typically about a balanced solution for you. And we add potassium trace into our magnesium solution. So primary care elements, fairly straightforward, guys. We have a range of powder products as well. You can buy the calcium powder, the sodium carbonate powder, also the magnesium. So you can mix those yourselves. Pretty sure Sirius has the powders in. Not sure, but anyway, if he doesn't, we'll get it into him very shortly. But it allows you guys, we sell the powders in a range of buckets to effectively refill one of those 10-litre drums. So obviously, depending on the size of your tank, if you've got a 1,000-litre tank, chances are you're going to go for a 10-litre drum. If you've got a 200 to 400 litre tank, the 2.75 is enough. A nano tank, the 500 mil. Either way, You got the powders to remix, and then you just need to add our trace A, B, and C, boron, bromide, and potassium in to effectively have exactly the same product that we have in our plus trace products. Now, I'll jump down to the third one I've got listed, which is our Coral Power products. Now, was our foundation products that we started with all those years ago. It's about 4 or 5 years ago now. We kicked this off in Australia. Coral Power Trace A, Trace B, Trace C. Effectively, we've produced them to go in with the calcium and the carbonate, and that's what we found to be the best thing. You know, guys, you can add it in by drops, or you can add it in your solutions. We recommend 1 ml per liter. Sorry, 1 ml per liter of calcium mixed at 100,000. 1 ml per trace C, for argument's sake, mixed in with carbonate at 180,000, and the magnesium 1 ml also mixed in. So effectively, you can have your own source of mag, calcium, and carbonate alkalinity if that's what you want. Just add our particular drops in there to do it. We've also got our grow and amino range in there, which is effectively foods. You guys know the grows are vitamins. It's a list of vitamins. The amino is amino. Every manufacturer has their range of amino acids, essential for good, healthy growth in coral. Now, we've also got a range of elements, and there's about, don't quote me, 15 or 16 different elements. Boron, bromide, iodine, fluoride, iron, potassium, manganese, molybdenum, lithium, zinc, nickel. It goes on and on. They're all on the website, but effectively they're micro elements, most of them there, that we recommend people who want to really tweak their elements, getting ICP tests done reasonably regularly. A level of 1 is down, whatever, dose accordingly to get to level up to what you think is right for your particular tank. So that's our element range. We've got a flatworm dip as well, which allows you to treat flatworm externally to the tank. It's not something you put in your tank. Isopropyl alcohol and tea tree oil mix. You need to treat your corals externally to your tank. We've got a BioClean product as well, which is a very fine clay-based product that helps skim out the high detritus and the fatty content within your water. It just helps the skimming process, helps to polish and clean that particular water as well. We've also got a range of phosphate up, nitrate up, and strontium up that we've found have been, strontium in particularly is depleted quite strongly. Sometimes what the level we have in our trace A, which is where the strontium is in our trace, not quite enough for some users. They need to put extra in. So but not everyone. So we don't want to increase it all. So certain users will have too much strontium in their tanks. You can add it in accordingly. And phosphate up and nitrate up. Once again, if you're running an ultra low nutrient system, and the phosphate and nitrates bottom out, tank starts to pale out, you're effectively heading towards coral bleaching. You're heading towards Great Barrier Reef. We don't want that. Give them a feed. Get that nitrate and phosphate levels up to our recommended. Next flow of products there is our black label products. Now, great. No one else has these products. We've had a few imitators come in, mainly our friends at Red Sea have come in with their Red Sea AB Plus, Energy AB Plus, I think it's called. But we've had this for a few years now. It's nearly 4 years we've had this on the market. The individual ones there, we've got our Chroma and Vibrance, which are a feeding type product. Same with the Energy. Just great products, a very secret recipe that we have. We pay with quite a few years to get this. The ingredients in it are quite expensive to have to be specifically manufactured to our requirements. But yeah, look, they work tremendously well, particularly the Chroma and the Vibrance for bringing out the color and just getting your tank just sparkling and shimmering and shining well. The Energy is another good feed. It can be a carbon source, so if you go a little bit too hard, it can bottom out your nitrates and your phosphates and make your tank a little bit sterile. So be a little bit careful with Energy. Now we've also got the little black label range. That's the 3 little bottles in the one there for nano tanks. Same product. Don't need to talk more about that. Our new product is our CVE Plus, which has taken us a year or two now to develop, and it's a combination of the Chroma, the Vibrance, and the Energy. Pretty much without going into too much detail, it's about equal parts of Chroma and Vibrance and less Energy, mixed in with water and a few other little bits and pieces to make sure that the products stay in solution and are good for you guys. So once again, the CVE Plus can go on a dosing pump for guys that like to dose it regularly. Don't like to have to add drops. Obviously, the other bottles need to be added in by droppers. We recommend to just drop it, feed it in the morning or the afternoon or both, depending on your usage. But yeah, we'd like to have a product like CV Plus. It's an all-in-one. It's I won't call it the lazy reefer mix, but it just means you're getting the same benefits, but you can put it on a dosing pump. You can set and forget, or you can set and tweak. You can change it as is necessary without having to worry about it, missing, or if you're away for the weekend or you're on holidays, it still gets dosed in your tank. Now, as I said before, look, dosing by drops, which you can do with all of our single little bottle elements. Dosing by usage, which is what you can do with our big ones. Now, you can also dose by usage all of our micro elements as well. Like I said, if you've got your ICP testing done, we've got a calculator on our website. Go in there, have a look at it. I probably don't have time to run through it all here with you now, but effectively, you put in what your tank is now at what the level of the element it says it is from an ICP test, the amount of liters in your tank, what you want it to be. The calculator will tell you exactly how many mils of drops you need to put into your tank. Now, for normal, if you're a long way out, don't throw it all in at once. Bring it up over a period of a few days, but effectively, it allows you to effectively do that. Now, it's the same with the calcium and the magnesium. They're at a set. Our premix products, I should say, at the top. They're at a set parts per million. So you put in your tank size, liters, you put in what your calcium or your carb or your mag level is. Now, from your test, you put in what you want it to be. It tells you exactly how much of the product you need to put in to do that. Then, obviously, as you know, you've got to test regularly over the next few days or so, see how much is dropping each day and work out what your typical usage is. And then once your tank's stabilized, you can dose that amount pretty regularly. Probably don't have to test often, and as often, maybe once a week, maybe once a fortnight. Now, as I've said, we've pretty much covered a lot of this. I'm not going to pretty much go over it again, but we have our Coral Essentials method, like I said, guys, where we've got our products there that you can use and dose by your usage. Now, if you want to mix up your own particular powders, you can mix them up at whatever strength you like. And once again, our calculators on the website will tell you exactly how much of our trace A, B, and C to put in it. So it mimics our premix bottles at the top. So if you want to use Randy's mix, a lot of people still use Randy strength for magnesium, alk, and calcium, whether it be Randy 1 or Randy 2. Put that in our calculator, say this is what I've mixed my product at. It'll then tell you exactly how many mils of the trace A, B, and C you need to add to your calcium, alk, and your mag. It's as simple as that. So you've got the choice to do it your way, or you just use our pre-mixed products if you like. We've got them set. We think that's a good ratio, and it's a good size, and it's a good average usage for most tanks. Dosing by drops is the trace. You can do that as well. Some people, if you've got a calcium reactor, for argument's sake, you're not always dosing a lot of calcium or carb. If your ICB testing showing some elements a little bit low, just start dosing some of the extra elements that we have in there. Once again, if that particular micro element is low, go to the calculator, put in what it is now, put in what you want. It'll tell you exactly how many mils or how many drops you need to put in your tank. And the black label stuff, well, effectively, apart from the CVE, that is all effectively just dosed on what you think it's going to be. There's no measuring the amounts of that secret elements that's in your tank. You put 1 drop in a day per 100 litres. You might put 5 drops in a day per 100 litres. We know guys that range from half a drop to 5 or 10 drops a day. 5 or 10 drops, probably getting a little bit on the upside, but if they love it and it's working for them, then away they go. Let them have their go. But that stuff there, you basically put in and you monitor your tank and you have a look and see what it's like. The best way to see how tank's going is to look at it every day. I don't have to tell you guys that. You know that stuff. As I said, the rest of it, dosing by usage and the calculators, we've done that, been through all of that. They're all on our website. I love to show you, but they're simple. They're just a simple entry. You pick the element you want. You put in the level that it currently is from your test or from your ICP, whoever you got it. You put in the amount of liters in your tank. You put in the level you want it to be at. It tells you exactly how much you need to dose. It's as simple as that. Now, what's the future for Coral Essentials? Well, we've got a new trace product coming up. We're testing it at the moment. Maybe it's going to be called Trace D. We don't know. That would make a little bit of sense. But it's just some additional traces we've found from analysing a lot of ICP results from customers that use our particular products. We like to do that. We like to see where where we're going right, where our element levels are okay and correct, and we get a lot of feedback. We probably see 40 or 50 ICP tests every month from various people, and some are regular ICP users, so they're using our products exclusively. So look, we love that feedback. We analyze it, we work out what we need to do, and we just improve our product to be of you guys. So there's a few other trace elements we think are not quite where they need to be in our products, some that are typically always a little bit lower. So Trace D is going to have a few of these in it, and we'll keep you informed. We'll add that into our premix stuff too once we got that little formula worked out. We're looking at a new enhanced black label. I spelt label wrong there, guys. Don't get me for it. Amino, effectively, it's going to be a new amino product, different aminos to the one we've currently got. We're looking at another range of them, and it's going to be a fairly high-end product that we're just tweaking around to see what sort of levels we're getting with it. Been testing this one for probably 6 to 9 months now. We want to test it a little bit more in our system and some of our test tanks, but that's something that's probably before the end of the year. We'll see that. We're looking at a powdered food mix as well for SPS and LPS. We don't have a powdered food range at the present time, so it's going to be a very fine powdered food, purely animals, crustaceans from the ocean, nothing else added. It's not going to have any chemicals, any elements. We're just buying, from plankton and rotifers, and won't go any further. Can't tell you exactly what's in it, but effectively, it's going to be shrimp, and it's going to be little krill and all those bits and pieces. And we're going to have some fish in there as well. So effectively, we're going to get that dried, freeze dried. We powder it up here in our own facility, put it in our thing, and it's going to be something that you can add in and either dose directly into your tank. Typically, you might want to add up 5 or 10 mil, suck it into a syringe and squirt into your tank. We've tried mixing it with some of our black label stuff, some of the amino and grow as well, to get into a paste and let it go into the tank, the high flow area. It's very fine. It's going to be a very fine food. So not going to be targeted LPS feeders. Hopefully the fish won't get too much before it gets to the bottom, but effectively it's going to be quite fine. So it's targeting the SPS. That's what we want. LPS will grab some out of it, don't get me wrong, but really targeting those little polyps on the SPS to be able to do that. So look, that's it, guys. I'll hand back, and we'll have a Q&A. I think I've gone well and truly long enough. Hand back to you guys.
Hi, I'm back. Okay, so I hope you guys like the presentation. Thank you, Rick, for showing us around your facility as well as Coral Essentials. So the first thing I want to say is, so you guys are located in Cairns, right?
Yes.
So Cairns is also where the Great Barrier Reef is at, right? Yeah, I went there once, and I didn't see a lot of colorful corals. In fact, I saw mostly white bleach corals already, and that's quite sad. And with the recent news as well, so we hope that your research is able to one day, at least I really enjoy your whole biobank project, and I hope that one day there will be a solution to the bleaching in the Great Barrier Reef.
Yes.
But for now, I guess we're all very happy that at least we know that if certain corals won't go extinct, because we will always have a biobank, and we can always be able to culture these corals even in our homes. So right now we're gonna go into the question and answer. So do any of you have any questions for Rick? If you do, just quickly send it there, and we can ask Rick directly. Just comment your questions. Rick, I have a question for you. So I think it's I'm going to start with a bit more general question. So is there a way that the Great Barrier Reef is able to heal itself? Is it able to heal itself, or does it need some kind of man-made impact for it to happen?
Well, look, I guess the short answer is it's looked after itself for the last, what was I saying, 25 million years, and it will do that again. Look, we had probably our first more recent bleaching event about 5 years ago now, and it bleached 2 years in a row. And effectively, that was quite bad. There were a lot of close-in reefs that were really damaged. And I'm talking, probably 80% coverage on the reef was destroyed. Look, up until just the most recent event, which was just a few weeks ago, not so bad this time, thankfully. We had a little bit of rain towards the end of summer that cooled the ocean down. Yeah, a lot of those reefs had recovered reasonably well. Of that 80% loss, they've probably got 3/4 of that back again. So, and that's in a 3-year period. So it shows that the reef's quite resilient. And look, the real damage is, yes, there's a little bit with runoff and fertilizer, nutrients, and and some of the crown of thorns, but it's major. It doesn't do the damage that the coral bleaching does. Unfortunately, to try and, how do we manage the ocean temperatures and with global warming and reducing fossil fuel usage, all this sort of stuff? Look, we just don't know. As much as people say, yes, that's what doing it, no one has the real proof. The world gets hotter and colder. We've seen that in cycles, but the reef looks after itself. At the present time, the scientists are looking at it. There's two viewpoints, right? There's one that says just let it look after itself, and there's another that says no, we need to do something about it. But unfortunately, at the moment, they're butt heads like this. And if the Australian government, no different to the Singapore government, when two specialists or two experts are telling them two different things, they do nothing. They just sit on their hands and they say it's too hard, so they don't do anything, which I guess suits the guys that say it'll look after itself. But yeah, it will, and it has. It's bounced back. It's been this bad before, so I'm quite confident that it'll be there for tourists to come and see again in the years to come.
Okay, so to all those who are tuned in, do stay tuned for a little while more, because we're going to have a question and answer for you. We're going to ask you questions, you answer in the comments, and you stand a chance to win some Coral Essential products. So going into your products, how long have you been in? I mean, how long have you been doing Coral Essentials and finding and creating all these products? How long has it been?
Was it
For those who just tuned in, yeah.
Yeah, it was about 6 years ago that we started looking at Coral Essentials, basically at our coral farm that was in the backyard of my business partner's place. We still love it. Still, the skeleton is still there. We call it the graveyard, but coral graveyard, because there's nothing left there anymore. But effectively, we were using products. We were buying KZ and Aquaforest and Red Sea, and it was on the size of our tanks. We had like 12,000 litres and a 2,500 litre sump, and we were just going through products like Left, West and Crooked, just using so much. And we thought there's got to be a better. We've got to be able to do this cheaper. So for us, it was more a necessity that we said, well, look, the calcium and alkan mag, that's pretty straightforward. You can buy some calcium chloride, you can buy some mag chloride, mag sulfate, buy some sodium carbonate. We can put that together. But all of the micro elements was the issue, and the amino and the grow and the vitamins and the food. So we just started researching, looked at the balling method. That's what a lot of our products are based on. They're based on Hans Werner Balling's tests that he done back in the late 70s and the early 80s. So a lot of our research was done around the elements that mixed and what corals use. For feeding wise, we just started looking at aminos, what aminos corals took, what vitamins they required. And we stumbled across the black label stuff because it was, we found these vitamins and stuff in a different form. But we thought, geez, this is interesting. And it was very, very quickly absorbed. But yeah, that all started about 6 years ago, and we started doing it for ourselves and giving it out to friends and even some of our what you might call our advocates, guys that were using our products and talking on social media about them before they were even available to be sold. And the guy said, look, it's working well. You guys, you should be selling this stuff. And I was like, bling, why not? Why don't we sell it? So we continued our research, and probably within about 12 or 18 months after that, and that was about 4.5, nearly 5 years ago now, we had our first range of products, which was just Trace A, B, C, Amino and Grow. That's all we had initially when we first hit the market. And from then, we tweaked it. We changed the bottle sizing. We made it more concentrated to go down to the little blue bottles. It was easier to transport. And we started making the premix stuff, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just grown from there, and it's just gone up and up and up. All of our products are tested on our coral farm there. That's what we do for every one of them. They're tested extensively there. We've got, it might have been hard to see in the video, but we've got 4 100-litre little test tanks that sit above our sump that we can isolate and do tests with our products in there. When we're quite confident, we'll put them all the way through the big system and say, right, we've got 15,000, nearly 20,000 litres there. We'll put in enough of what we say you need to dose, see how it goes. LPS, softies, SPS, test them all. So effectively, none of our products hit the market without us doing at least 12 to 18 months of research, testing it, tweaking it, making sure it works. And then when we're happy, we release it to the market. And we continue to use it. Our whole facility only runs on our own products. We don't use anything else at all. We do lye, we do seed with a bit of Dr. Tim's to get a bit of bacteria growing when we need to get our media. If we've had to replace media, that's about it. It's the only other product we use that doesn't have a Coral Essentials label on it.
Okay, we have one last question, and it's from Chunwai. Should we be using Coral Grow, Coral Amino, Black Label products to rehydrate dried food before feeding?
Look, yes, you can. Just be careful. You know exactly how much you're putting in. Now, if you've got some dried food, like I said, without added food we had there, if you want to put in 2 drops of Grow, 2 drops of Amino, 2 drops of each of the Black Label product, you know that's your daily feeding. Put them in with your dried food. Put the lot in. Okay, work out how much food you want to put in. Don't like pre-mix the food and go squirt, squirt, squirt. Oh, that'll do. Squirt, squirt, because you're just not quite sure how much you're getting in. But I'm assuming we're smarter than that. So basically, whatever your daily dose of Black Label, Grow, and Amino, and they can all be dosed together. They all work together. They don't compete with each other. The amount of food you want to put in, put that aside. Put in the drops that you want of those products, and put it all in your tank. Wash the bowl at the end and make sure you get all that Black Label out.
Okay. One last question. Final one. Is there a best time along the day to be dosing trace, amino, and Black Label CVE?
Look, trace, no, not really. We've found it doesn't really matter. The amino, once again, in the morning, corals tend to be a little bit more actively feeding, a little bit more active under when you've got your lights on. I'll throw Grow in there as well. That tends to work better when your lights are off. And the Black Label, once again, Black Label CVE, it doesn't really matter. We haven't been able to determine a better time. Some people do a drop in the morning and a drop in the evening. But yeah, it's probably the only amino I'd recommend in the morning, and the Grow to put in or dose at night after the lights are off. It just tends to perform better, stays in the water column a little bit better. The Grow, strong lighting, it can tend to weaken it a little bit. So we always recommend to do it at night if possible.
Okay. So thank you for all your questions. Right now, Rick, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to conduct another question for them, and they're going to win prizes. But thank you so much for your time. We definitely are looking forward to get our hands as well on Coral Essential products, which you can get your hands on at Coral Fanatics. They are the distributor of this product. And Rick, thank you again once for your time. And we hope to have you up again to share with us about more new things with your biobank or even your products as well.
Yeah,
so thank you. And guys, stay tuned. We're going to have a question and answer. Thank you, Rick. See you again.
Thanks, guys. See you anytime.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, hi guys. So we are down to the last part of our live stream, and we are actually going to give away products. So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Three questions. Okay. The first question is coming here.
Okay, you want to announce the prizes?
Okay, I'm gonna type out the questions. I'm gonna type out the question. What are one of the problems facing the Great Barrier Reef? Okay, so if you answer this question, you stand a chance to win a CVE plus 500 ml bottle, total worth $59. We are going to open this to 3 winners, 3 questions. So 1 question, 1 winner, okay? Okay, so what are one of the problems facing the Great Barrier Reef? High temperature causing bleaching. Okay, thank you, Chris. Congratulations to Chris Deftonen. Okay, next question. What's the next question?
Is the foundation element?
Comments. Okay, next question. What
is the basic foundation element?
Name 4. Okay, what are the basic foundation elements that we require in our reef tank? Name 4 of them. Okay, first person gets to win the prize. The prize is a CVE plus 500 ml bottle, which you can claim directly from Coral Fanatics. What are the basic foundation elements required in a reef tank? Name 4. Calcium, magnesium, KH, nitrate. Nitrate is right.
Actually,
no. Sorry, nitrate doesn't count as 1.
No. Actually, foundation element 3.
I put 4. Can you choose 4? Hang on, I'm waiting for them to select the winner.
Potassium.
Okay, the winner goes to Theo Ramirez, alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Congratulations, Theo. Okay.
Last one.
And the last question. I'm going to type it out.
What are coral essentials? All in one marine. CB plus. CB plus.
CV plus, right? Okay, the question is, what is Coral Essentials CV plus? What is Coral Essentials CV plus? Okay, I'm gonna edit it.
CBE plus.
Hang on. Okay, I think we have an answer. All-in-one dosing formula by Joash Kamtiawe. Thank you, Joash. Okay. So right now we have 3 winners from our event, but that's not all. So after you guys log out, we're actually going to conduct a lucky draw for those of you who have actually attended our program. So if you win the lucky draw, you stand a chance to win a Coral Essentials Coral Power Grow 50 ml together with a Coral Essentials Coral Power Amino 50 ml one set. Total worth $68. And the other prize that you stand a chance to win is the Coral Essentials A, B, and C 50 ml one set. Total worth $75. So thank you everybody here for participating in this live event. And of course, we wish you all the best for the lucky draw. Before I go off, I want to especially thank Coral Fanatics for hosting this for us and inviting Coral Essentials to tell us more about products and tell us more about the Great Barrier Reef and the problems that it's facing. So I hope you guys enjoyed your time today. We also hope to have more events here. So if you're interested to have more events like this, do let us know. Drop us a message or drop us a comment here. Let us know what kind of events, things that you want to know about, and we'll try our best to arrange it for you as well. So Coral Fanatics, thank you. And thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm going to sign off, but we're going to have a lucky draw, okay? So stay tuned. Look online for the lucky draw. We'll keep you updated. Bye-bye and see you guys. Have a great weekend.